What a Monday Night Raw we had last night, guys. Yes, hello. This is David Hoyle from Forever Talk Wrestling, here to talk about last night's Monday Night Raw. And what a Monday Night Raw it was, guys. The first Raw after Clash of Champions. And Clash of Champions was absolutely unbelievable. And so was last night's Monday Night Raw. We had two championships on the line. We had Asuka's Raw Women's Championship on the line against Zelina Vega. And we had Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship on the line in an open challenge. And what a match he had last night, guys. But we'll get to his match later on. But the first match of the evening was the match between Asuka and Zelina Vega for the Raw Women's Championship. And really, it was the same as Clash of Champions. Not too exciting. And Asuka just really kept her focus and put the Asuka lock on Zelina Vega. She tapped out and Asuka remains the Raw Women's Champion yet again. But I reckon this feud with Zelina Vega, I reckon this could be the start of something very, very interesting between those two. So we'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, then we had the King's Court. Yeah. Then we had the King's Court with the Mysterio family, and I think, let's just say, things got very, very interesting on there. So, I mean, especially when Seth Rollins showed the messages of Rey Mysterio's daughter, Elena, or whatever it is, or whatever her name is, texting Murphy, Seth Rollins' disciple. And really, that was interesting. That was very, very interesting, that King's Court. I mean, literally after it, Dominic went mad, going right for Murphy, and that really put the match between Dominic and Murphy in place, really. And it was then confirmed later on in the evening. But before that match, then we had a real grueling match between two people who have had a bit of a grudge against each other of late, in Kevin Owens and Aleister Black. Now, Kevin Owens, he's been absolutely fed up of late after repeated attacks by Aleister Black on Kevin Owens. I mean, just before Clash of Champions, Aleister Black attacked Kevin Owens from behind and hit him against the post constantly. So, yeah, not good for Kevin Owens then. But he did manage to win the match, Kevin Owens, via disqualification after Aleister Black. I'm not exactly sure if it was accidental or if it was on purpose. He elbowed one of the referee, really, and that forced the referee to call the match off, and that disqualified Aleister Black. So he was disqualified, and Kevin Owens won the match. But just before the the match was called off. Kevin Owens hit Aleister Black with a stunner. And that left him quite stunned. And yeah, it was a good win for Kevin Owens. Okay, and then we moved on to the other match, to the second match. But this one was a tag team match between the team of Natalya and Lana and the newcomers to Monday Night Raw, Mandy Rose, making her debut on Raw, and Dana Brooke. Those two becoming a tag team. And yeah, that led to led to the match, really. But before the match, really, Lana and Natalya were calling for Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler to have their women's tag team titles stripped from them. So yeah, that was just before the match started. So yeah, but really it was a bit of a 50-50 match, really. I mean, Natalya and Lana, they really dominated in some parts of that match, but so did Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. But anyway, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, in their debut match as a tag team, they came out on top against Lana and Natalya. Yeah, so that must have felt really good for them. And then we had the second of the three grueling matches that definitely had a bit of history between them in grudge matches. Would have been Murphy versus Dominic Mysterio. Now, Dominic Mysterio, he really started off the match all fired up, and it looked like it was going to end as a draw. But then Dominic got the kendo stick out, and then his sister came out and tried to plead with Dominic not to hurt Murphy with the kendo stick, because she was saying that he isn't as bad as Seth Rollins. But anyway, that led to Murphy rolling up Dominic Mysterio and winning the match, thanks to Dominic's sister's interference. And after the match, Dominic hit Murphy twice with the kendo stick, but that also led to an angry confrontation from Dominic towards his sister, and that led to him saying, and I quote, "Dad is right, you're just naive, you're so naive." And that led to a slap from his sister to Dominic, and she left in quite a hurry, with Dominic really angry and frustrated. And then we had the match between the Hurt Business and Mustafa Ali, Apollo Crews and Ricochet. And that match again was absolutely grueling. I mean, we know that Apollo Crews and Ricochet, they have had really grueling matches against the Hurt Business in the past. I mean, Apollo Crews, he had a match against Lashley both at Payback and at Clash of Champions. So yeah, really grueling matches for Apollo Crews against the almighty Bobby Lashley. But unfortunately, unlike at SummerSlam, the Hurt Business actually lost the match thanks from a 350, or is it 350, or is it 250? Yeah, from a 350 splash from Mustafa Ali, winning the match for him, Apollo Crews, and Ricochet. Okay. But we also, one thing that did happen in that match as well, the lights really flickered, and we thought, and the Hurt Business really thought that Retribution would come out here, because I mean every time the lights flicker, Retribution either come into the arena or like show up somewhere on some screen or monitor or something. So yeah, it always is. I mean, just to be on the careful side, just to be wary. I mean, what Retribution can do. I mean, they just absolutely menacing, Retribution. They really are. And it'll be interesting to see what will happen between the Hurt Business and Retribution in the next few weeks. But anyway, the main event, the final match tonight was the Drew McIntyre Open Challenge, and it was a bit of a surprise, really. A really big surprise happened before the match. Dolph Ziggler came out, and guess who was back? The glorious Robert Roode! Yep, Robert Roode was back, and he had a title opportunity, for the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. But it was a grueling match, that one. The fourth grueling match of the night. I mean, Drew McIntyre had just come off a really heated ambulance match, which saw Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, The Big Show, and Christian appear, which was really, really surprising. And that match, I don't think Drew McIntyre was really prepared for it. I mean, a few times in that match, Robert Roode was so close to winning the WWE Championship, but Drew McIntyre kicked out. But then, towards the end of the match, Robert Roode hit McIntyre with a glorious DDT. And we all thought that once Robert Roode hit that, it was all over. It was going to be Robert Roode, the new WWE champion, really. But still, McIntyre kicked out of the glorious DDT. And Robert Roode, he was absolutely shocked. So he tried to hit McIntyre with it again. But McIntyre pushed him away. But then McIntyre hit Robert Roode with one of the most deadliest moves in sports entertainment, the Claymore. Hit him right with the Claymore, and that took Robert Roode out, and that won the WWE Championship back for Drew McIntyre. He had retained the WWE Championship, but the one thing that we've just got to discuss before we end this video is, right towards the end of the night, we saw Randy Orton, the legend killer who had lost his match at Clash of Champions to Drew McIntyre, entering the Legends Lounge, and the next thing we know, when the lights came back on, we saw the Big Show, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels and Christian all laying in a heap on the floor. So, what the heck happened in there? We all don't know. But what will the Legend Killer do next, I wonder? Is this a sign for another future title match between these two? Maybe at Hell in a Cell? Or who knows what's going to happen in the next installment of this fantastic rivalry between the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. Who knows what's going to happen? But anyway, guys, we're going to end it here. Thank you all very much for watching this video. So, yeah, what do you think is going to happen next between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton? Do you think those two could be having a match at either Hell in a Cell or Survivor Series? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, like and subscribe to mine and King Oles's YouTube channel, Talk Forever Wrestling. And we will see you in the next video. Thank you all very much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.